All right, so for today's wipers, we just need to get some 24-inch blades. It took me a minute to find that. I don't know why, but I like Michelin, so that's what I end up using here. Got the truck in November, and I think the dealer put on wiper blades then, and it's almost May now, so it's about that time I could start to notice them kind of streaking as I was using them. So as long as you get some 24-inch blades, and they're standard blades, they should work just fine. Okay, so the next part here is just removing the blades. They're just kind of like the little C-hook blades. So all you have to do is just take this, put one hand to support the wiper arm, and then just push the blade firmly down, and it should just pop right out. Famous last words, right? A second thing that sometimes helps is if it's a little bit stuck, you can kind of tilt it. I should probably get that in the shot a little bit. You can tilt it 90 degrees, and then you can get a little bit more force down, and then it should pop right out like that. So if you ever get stuck, that is a good thing to do. The second part, obviously, you don't want that metal riding on your windshield, so just leave it up, make sure it doesn't slap down, and give you a nice. All right, so reverse process to put them back on. These are one of the more common blade types. You usually don't have to do any modification to it. With the blades that I have here, just getting them ready to put on. They're a little bit fancy. They have a nice cover, which I think it looks pretty nice. So this cover slaps over it. So you have to open it up. The C-hook's gonna go in right there. So we'll just pop this on down, get it into position. And then once the C-hook is in place, you do want to just pull it firmly so it clips in. You see it just clipped in there. Press down, and then we are good to go. So that's the whole process, not too hard. That trick of rotating at 90 degrees, that, you know, half the time you don't need to do it, half the time you do. So if you ever need to, that is something that helps. A second thing when you rotate at 90 degrees, here's the old blade, is when it does get kind of stuck in there, you'll see on the inside, that's where it's hooked into. So what you can actually do is if you have like a multi-tool pocket knife pliers, you can sometimes pull these open, or honestly, if you're replacing it, just break it, because it's just a little plastic piece here, and sometimes that's all you need to do to just pop it out, and then you're good to go. So hopefully that helps. Wiper's not too crazy, but honestly, the first time you do anything on a new vehicle, it takes a little bit of getting used to. So that is it for today. So just finished up the wiper blade install, really making your money doing that. But one thing that I wanted to mention was that I actually got a call from the dealer that I bought the truck from earlier this week. So I bought it like 5-6 months ago. And they offered to buy it back for exactly what I paid for it. And I guess the reason that they were doing that, which kind of a scam if you ask me, but they were saying that the new models, they're discounting those by like 10 grand, and they can't find enough of the used ones to sell, which I take that as, you know, when you're thinking about why would a dealer want to do that, it's probably because it's a lot easier to sell a truck for $30-something thousand than it is to sell a brand new one for, I don't know, 50K or whatever it is. So kind of the funny story about this truck is up until I bought this in the fall, I had a 2009 Ram Hemi that, you know, was pretty up there in miles, but, you know, as you can probably tell from the videos, I don't mind working on stuff, so it wasn't a problem. But I also, as kind of a hobby, like to kind of work on cars on the side, just fun little projects. Like, you know, I was mentioning earlier, this is the 96 Firebird, got it for $3 grand. It's only got 80,000 miles on it, not really rusty. Has some flaws in the paint, that kind of deal, but just kind of a neat car. So things like that, I fix them up and then I sell them. And I did that, gosh, last summer I did, I think like 4 vehicles. And by the end of the summer, I got pretty lucky on a few of them, but I made enough money where I bought the truck. And my wife and I, one thing that we've always done is because I can work on them, I don't mind having older, cheaper stuff. Never had a car payment, like ever. And just for the simple reason of, you know, for what I could put down as a deposit on a new vehicle, I'd rather just buy an older one and save up. So getting that truck was a big deal. I've never had anything that expensive, never had anything that new. So when they offered, you know, to buy it back, you're always kind of tempted. And I drive a ton, you know, towing, visiting family, all that kind of stuff. So in 5 months, I put over 12,000 miles on the truck. So I was like, wow, well, if you want to buy it back for that, it'd be like a free rental for that amount of time. But at the end of the day, it's, you know, it's easy to get caught up in the emotions of, you know, wanting to make a deal and get something new, but really all I'd be getting is the same thing, just with less miles on it, and I'd be paying more money for it. You know, honestly, from what they were saying, for what I paid for mine, I got it with 36,000 miles on it, and then it's got 48, 49, somewhere around there now. So, you know, it'd be almost 15 grand more to buy something new that was comparable, because, you know, I want the towing package and I have some specific things because I use it for the truck stuff. I can't just get the you know, the most basic non-performance model because, you know, the towing isn't there and all that. So decided against it, and at the end of the day, 15 grand, it's like, oh, just another 15 grand to get a new truck, but that's like half of what I paid for mine. So you know, it's hard. Dealers are good at their jobs, they're good at making money off of people like us. So just important to remember, you know, if you like what you have and it makes sense to keep it, then just because you can get a good deal on something doesn't mean you should just go and take a loan out on it. So I don't know if anyone has these and they have dealers, call, and just something to think about. But kind of neat that they're finally getting to a place where they're taking some money off MSRP finally. But, you know, the way that I maintain my stuff, I like to keep it like I had that '09 Ram. I'd like to see this Ram make it, you know, another decade at least. So hopefully it's a good truck and we take good care of it. The way I'm driving it, maybe I'll be the one that makes it to 1 million miles first, who knows. But anyways, just a little update on the truck. Hope you enjoy, and hope you enjoy the content today.